know. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It's gonna be moving back and forth and swaying, because when these missiles get hit, it's gonna be busting them plates up, them tectonic plates, man. Hey, they got missiles that'll blow the hole clean through the bottom of this place, man. They got one that'll just take Texas out by itself. I think they call it the Satan 2. You know, thermonuclear destruction, man. It says, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So when America goes down by thermonuclear destruction, it won't be no rising up again, man. It won't be no rising up again. Let's see, Malachi 1. Malachi 1. It says 1 and 4. It says, wherein Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And that's what they did. It says, thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. So everything that they built right now, the Lord is getting ready to knock this place down, man. Hey, the situation in the world is not good, man. And it says, he says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever, man. That's a righteous anger that the Lord has on these Edomites forever, man. So everything that they built, man, they put their hands to, this whole place, man. When this thermonuclear destruction comes, and the Lord is about to tear it down. Isaiah 24:20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, it shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgressions thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So it's going to fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day, the day of the Lord, the day of the reckoning, the day of the destruction. It says that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall punish the host of the high ones. Who are these? Who are the host of the high ones? You elites, man. You Rockefellers, you DuPonts, you Gettys, you Rothschilds, man, you Oppenheimers. Y'all are the host of the high ones, man. And it says, the host of the high ones that are up on high, and the kings of the earth, the kings that are up on the earth, man. So all y'all get ready to get it, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring total, utter destruction to America, man. Everything that you think you worked for, you built, hey, it's all an illusion, because the Lord is about to take y'all out. And it's going to be beautiful, man. It's Psalm 76:12. He shall cut off the spirit of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth, man. So he's going to break your pride, man. That's what the Lord is going to do, man. With these thermonuclear missiles, man. He's going to break y'all pride, man. Back in 2nd Ezra 16:6. May any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods, or may any one quench the fire and stubble when it have begun to burn? May one turn an arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The answer is no. Now I'm going to jump to 16. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, because it's not a boomerang. Arrows, when they go straight forward. When you look at arrows, it's talking about the missiles in the scriptures, man. They made these arrows that look just like missiles that look like arrows. When they're shot from those silos, those arrows are going to what? Go until they hit their targets, man. It says, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again, man. So they're going to return, man. So we look for this destruction, man. That's a beautiful thing that the Lord has this thermonuclear destruction happening to save the nation of Israel, man. This is how we're going to get home, man. It says, 2nd Ezra 16:9. It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? And he shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Because you're going to be afraid in that day, man. Because, hey, when these missiles are coming down, hitting these buildings, and they blowing up, people get scared now when they just hear regular thunder and lightning. Think when them thermonuclear missiles start hitting and the earth is rocking to and fro, man, they going to be screaming, man. Men's hearts failing them for fear when you read in Luke the 21st chapter, man. The strongest man gonna cry like a baby in that day, man. And it says, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beat to powder at his presence, man? So who not going to be utterly beat to powder? Hey, the wicked, man. If you part of that wicked, part of that number, you're going to be beaten to powder, man. You know, from the I'll show it to you. This is 2nd Ezra 13, and I'll start at 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet thus fight, because when that day comes, that day of Armageddon, you're going to have the troops, the military are going to be in the Middle East, and they're going to be fighting amongst each other. And when the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua come back with the host, he's going to put the spirit on them to fight, right? They're going to fight against the Lord. And it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, because he's going to have them chariots, man. You know? They tell you when the chariots, when they think, whatever they think, that's where the chariot moves. So that blast of fire is going to be their breath coming out. And it says, verse 10, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And there were all mixed together the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, right? Them chariots, man, how is Shai gonna be shooting laser beams, man? They gonna be shooting concentrated fire out of them ships, man. And it says, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which were prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden and innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, man. So Ezra said when he saw it, he was afraid, right? He even says in the 16th chapter, stuff gonna be so bad. He even said in the 16th chapter, woe is me, the 17th verse, the 16th chapter, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? So Ezra is saying, who is going to deliver me in those days, man? Because the Lord is going to be bringing havoc, man. The thermonuclear missiles going to be dropping everywhere. The Lord is going to be bringing havoc with the angels. And they're going to be sending out that concentrated fire, right? I'm going to get the scripture to show you they're going to be bringing out that concentrated fire. Because a lot of people think it's going to be peace, man. But the Lord says in Matthew 10 and 34, he says, think not that I have come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And a sword is an instrument that brings a destructive effect, man. And that sword he's going to be bringing is the fire, the beams from the chariots, the lasers is coming from the chariots, and the thermonuclear missiles that the Lord has put the spirit on Teman, the men of Teman, to create, man. You know? Let me get that. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy it. So the Lord said, hey, that smith he's talking about is the scientist, man. Because the old blacksmiths used to take metal and put it in the heat, and when it burned, they would take the hammer and beat it into the shape of a sword, and then they would fine tune it and then cool it off and were to make a sword of a killing effect. That's what they did. So the modern day blacksmiths are the scientists that came from Teman, man. They have taken uranium and they have taken plutonium, the metals they have taken different elements and put them together, right, to create a destructive instrument. This is what you see when you see these missiles. In the tip of that missile, this is where the uranium and the plutonium goes. They build these shafts, right? This is what propels that missile out of that gal. And once this propels into the air, this back part drops off, and this part travels, and then so far that part will drop off. And that tip, the part that's up there at the front, that's the part that's going to come out of the atmosphere and break up into many smart bombs and go hit their targets, man. So they have created these wasters for the Lord's indignation, man. The Lord put the spirit on them. So he says, Yahushua says in Matthew 10 and 34, he says, think not that I have come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So a lot of people, contrary to popular belief, when the Lord come back, you think he's just going to come back and say, I'm back, ain't nothing going to happen, come float with me. It's not like that, man. When the Lord comes back, it's going to be thermonuclear destruction happening. It's going to be all hell going to be breaking loose in this place, man. Let's get Luke, the 12th chapter. Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth. What will I if it already be kindled, man? So the Lord is basically saying, hey, what would I if it already be kindled, man? You know, if it already be on fire when I get back. You know, but the Lord is coming to do damage, man. You know, the slain of the Lord gonna be many. Isaiah 66 and 15. When you read in Habakkuk, 3rd chapter, I think it's the 3rd chapter, I want to say. Habakkuk 3 and 1, a prayer of Habakkuk, the prophet unto Shigionoth. I, Yahweh, I have heard the speech, right? The one is coming from the Lord, right? The report. This is a report that we give it, like Habakkuk. This is a report. We read these words and we give a report. It says, and I was afraid, O Yahweh, revive thy work in the midst of the years. Basically, when you see revive, it means basically save, man. You know, it says in the midst of the years, make known in the wrath. In wrath, remember mercy. And he gonna remember that mercy. That mercy is gonna be for the elect, man. You know, he's telling Habakkuk, he's showing him concerning the devastation that's going to come to basically America, man. You know, and it says, the Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from the Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, which are the chariots, right? And it says, the heavens and the earth were full of his praise. It says, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hands. So horns represent what? Power. The brightness was what? Those laser beams, man. The laser beams, man. Matter of fact, when you look at this right here, you see that laser beam coming out of the chariot. That's that brightness he's talking about. You see that destruction, the smoke, the burning. And in those beams, you got people being beamed up also, man, on the other side. The elect being beamed up. This is that brightness it speaks of, man. You know? It says, and his brightness, meaning the laser beams, was as a light. He had horns coming out of his hands, so it's great power coming from these chariots, man. Because the angels and Yahushua are gonna be one with the chariots, man. It explains that in Ezekiel. When the angels' wings cover their bodies, they fly. That's the chariot. It says, and there was a hiding in his power. It says, verse, where we at? Let's see, verse 5. Behold, before him went the pestilence, and the burning coals went forth at his feet. That right there is the thermonuclear destruction, man. But once the lasers hit, guess what? The smoke is going to rise up like you just saw on the picture. Like on that picture, man. When that one laser is going to come and all the smoke is going to, when it hits, it's going to be burning. And that smoke is going to be the culmination of that laser, man. The destruction, man. Let's see, you got one right here. Man, it's the scriptures, man. This is the understanding. Psalms 18:8, there went up a smoke out of his nostrils and a fire out of his mouth, devouring coals were kindled by it, man. And hey, and that's what out of the mouth of Yahweh Shai gonna come them lasers, man. He told you, man, in 2nd Ezra the 13th chapter, man. His breath was a flaming fire, man. Let's see. He stood and measured the earth. Say, stood and measured the earth and beheld and drove asunder, meaning apart, the nations, man. Because the troops gonna be fighting against who? Yahweh Shai, man. You know, they gonna be fighting against Yahweh Shai. It explained that in 13th chapter. And it says, and the everlasting mountains, which are the governments, were scattered, and the perpetual hills did bow, meaning the governments, man. And his ways are everlasting, man. So the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua ways are everlasting. And after that destruction, we're going to take y'all in chains pursuing the Psalms of 149th chapter. And y'all going to bow down to us, man. Y'all going to be our, the least going to be basically the first slaves, man. You know? And it says, I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai displeased against the rivers? Right?